I really have no idea if there's gonna be any food or water or gas on this road. Is he stuck? You can tell they don't get a lot of visitors.
And then like a mob of them came down and grabbed me and pulled me on stage.
Oh, it's midnight and I'm supposed to wake up at 6 to get on the road. I don't even feel nervous, but like, you know, when you like have a big trip coming up in the morning or like a flight and you're like excited and like a little bit anxious, but like in a good way, that's just like how I feel.
About 4 weeks ago, I set out alone on my very first motorcycle journey from Ho Chi Minh City to Hoi An, Vietnam. And when I arrived here after more than 1,000 kilometers of riding, I was completely drained, both physically and emotionally. And Hoi An became this sanctuary of sorts where I've been able to rest and recharge after such an intense week of travel.
I've been in Hoi An for 3 weeks and I've gotten really cozy here. It's been hard to leave.
But tomorrow, I'm setting out on a journey to find one of the least traveled routes in all of Southeast Asia called the Ho Chi Minh Road. A historic passage traversing the western mountains of Vietnam along the borders of Laos and Cambodia. I plan to ride along this narrow slab of concrete for roughly 500 kilometers until I reach my final destination of Phong Nha, but as we've already learned by now, anything can happen. So today I'm cutting inland through the Ba Na Hills of central Vietnam toward a village called Prao, where I will then hop on to one of the emptiest and most jungle-covered stretches of the Ho Chi Minh Road until I reach a small settlement called A Lui.
I don't even know if anyone's here, but this is like literally the only place I could find for so long to stop. It's been pouring like through the mountains for like the last 45 minutes. So I'm very wet and cold.
I didn't know this at the time, but this would be the first of countless rainstorms that I would be riding through over the next 3 days. But it didn't really matter. I was finally getting my first real glimpse of rural Vietnam, and each village I rode through welcomed me with such warmth that I completely forgot about the rain.
I can tell I'm super off the beaten track right now just based off of people's reactions to seeing me riding through. This route has me going through all of these really small rural farming villages, and the reaction is either like extreme excitement, lots of waving and smiling, and it's so sweet. It's been really fun to just ride through and say hi to everyone, or the reaction is shock, really funny expressions and like looking at me really intensely like, who are you? But I think we're about 5 minutes away from my halfway point at Prao. I know I'm pronouncing all of these names wrong, but I believe it is sort of the starting point of a super remote stretch of the Ho Chi Minh Road. So I'm definitely gonna find a gas station, hopefully at Prao, and then we'll see how that goes.
A full tank of gas here in Vietnam usually costs me around 50,000 dong.
Come on.
And one of my only issues with the Honda Wave is that the gas tank is actually located inside the seat, so every time I get gas, I have to take all my stuff off the back of the bike, fill up the tank, and then secure everything back on afterwards. But as I turned onto the QL14 and began heading due north, there was absolutely nothing that could dull my spirits. I was finally riding on the Ho Chi Minh Road. For the next 100 kilometers, I spiraled up and down the rainforest-clad mountains straddling the Lao border, with only the cows and birds to keep me company. The isolation was profound. The depth of my surroundings, impossible to describe. It was just me and the trees and the hidden wildlife buzzing all around me. I felt like the only person in the world, and yet more alive and at peace than ever before. I finally made it to my cute little homestay after 7 hours on the road and was about to venture into town to find something to eat when I was stopped by Tui, one of the homestay owners. She insisted on feeding me some of the food her and her husband Nam were cooking on the tiny fire pit outside. First, she gave me these little seafood jelly cakes wrapped in banana leaves, which I can't say I was begging for more of.
It's good.
And then she sat beside me peeling boiled sweet potatoes and dipping them in a spicy sauce. We got to know each other via Google Translate and spent the rest of the night eating fish and drinking rice wine by the fire pit, where I met 2 other motorcyclists who were actually heading in the same direction as me on the Ho Chi Minh Road. So naturally, we decided to join forces the next morning.
Got my new riding buddies.
Today we're planning to ride 136 kilometers to a little homestay about 45 minutes past Khe Sanh, a frontier town where one of the deadliest sieges in the Vietnam War took place for 77 days in 1968. The site of the siege, which was a major US military base during the war, is now a museum where remnants of the base and military equipment remain. As we drove the 100 kilometers from Aloi to Khe Sanh, I felt humbled knowing that this was the most heavily bombed province in all of Vietnam. Since the end of the war, thousands of people have been killed by unexploded American bombs, and it's estimated that 80% of the land in this province is still a threat to locals. But despite the tragic impacts of the American war that are still felt to this day, the beauty of the landscape and warmth of the local people is nothing short of remarkable.
Let's see the shoes. Did some damage today. Look at this. This is actually hilarious.
Dude, his bag is...
Oh my god. The entire license plate. Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice this was happening. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't know either until we stopped. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so dirty.
Mine are higher.
mud socks.
You poser.
So we've just arrived at our homestay right past sunset. We actually decided to drive a bit past Khe Sanh today. I was initially going to stay there last night, but this actually gets us a head start on tomorrow's drive, which is going to be really, really long and extremely isolated. So we went to the gas station, the last gas station until Phong Nha, and I picked up 3 extra liters of petrol to take with me tomorrow. But yeah, we just showed up. It's super cute, extremely remote. There's like literally nothing here, and you can tell they don't get a lot of visitors because they're currently getting the room set up and they ran out to get food. So super grateful for that. Yeah, I'll definitely show you the rooms once they're ready for us. Hello.
Hello.
The little hat. Okay, so the room is ready for us. This is our beautiful view. Down there are our bikes. And then through here is where we will be sleeping. And as you can see, there is a third space here. But where did they put it? Over here. So we had to decide who was gonna stay here. And the boys are very nice. They let me stay in the princess bed. Thank you very much, sir.
Of course.
But all the mattresses are still like literally hard as a rock. Like I can't even express to you how hard, like they're so hard. So I'm not really getting full princess treatment. It's basically the same, just elevated. And it looks cute. It's so cute. Dinner is served.
Looks like we got some fish heads.
Oh, that's not fish heads, that's just fish.
That's a head.
That's a head.
The head's just part of the fish. This is squid, mountain squid.
Oh, mountain squid. Oh.
Mountain squid. We got some morning
Laotian
glory with
mountain
garlic. We've got some other type of meat. Chicken? That looks like chicken. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Could be chicken. It could be something else. Or
Could be
pork.
dog.
Could be awesome.
And then what's that?
It's an omelet and morning glory.
Hell yeah. This is so beautiful. So I'm currently having some ramen with an egg and my 3-in-1 instant coffee. Seems to be my standard breakfast on long rides in the middle of nowhere. But it honestly kind of hits the spot. I'm really definitely consuming a lot of sodium. But ramen in the morning kind of hits. But we have a really big day today of riding into Phong Nha. The rest of the Ho Chi Minh Road is extremely isolated, even more isolated than what we've already been on. I'm making sure to fuel up now because I really have no idea if there's gonna be any food or water or gas on this road. How are we feeling about the best day of the Ho Chi Minh Road?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah! So I filled up these 2 1.5 liter bottles of gasoline, and here are all my snacks. Hopefully there's something on the way because the boys don't have any gas. They seem to think there will be gas. So I'm just being overly prepared because I'm paranoid. But it's starting to rain, actually. Great.
That kid was on the back of the scooter. He's like 2.
Oh my god, no helmet, just like holding on for dear life. Classic. All right, let's enjoy. Woo!
Our final destination today that will mark the end of our journey on the Ho Chi Minh Road is called Phong Nha, also known as Cave Kingdom. But with a 200-kilometer mountain ride ahead of us, we knew this could easily be a 10-hour day.
Something's up with my bike.
Huh?
Something's up with my bike.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's not accelerating at all. And it like
what?
I can't, the speedometer stopped working yesterday and
Okay,
it's not
that's fine.
accelerating, like I can't go like fast at all. It will not go fast. I just want to let you know in case I like disappear. Well, we've got a bit of a windy, rainy start to the day. It's kind of hard to tell, but like, yeah, it's pretty insane. I'm much better. Thank you. Keeping it in third. Look at this view. Another day of rain. And a lot of wind.
Oh,
it's like raining sideways. Is he stuck?
out right now. There he goes again.
That's it. Yeah, right. Just from here. Yeah.
I can't. That literally looks like you just jumped in a puddle of water.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it feels.
Well, that was interesting. We literally were just driving. First of all, the ride itself, the hills are so steep and you're going on all these hairpin turns. And on top of that, it is raining. It is extremely foggy and misty, and literally we were driving through the clouds. At one point there was absolutely like no visibility. It was just white. So yeah, I'm really happy I have all my rain gear because I am pretty dry underneath all of this, but it's been really cool so far. Very jungly rainforest vibes. And yeah, since we've stopped off here about 10 minutes ago, I haven't seen anyone, so it is very remote. Hoping that there's a magical coffee shop that just emerges somewhere, but probably wishful thinking. Wet. Literally so wet right now. Oh my God. The rain was coming down. We just found a little cafe off the side of the road. This is what I prayed for.
Oh, it's brown.
It's from the mud yesterday. Highly recommend Solomon's. My feet are dry. So amazing. I was not expecting any food on this.
The weather finally took a turn for the better after lunch, and we didn't know this at the time, but as we were riding through the lush valleys dotted with tiny villages, we were about to encounter something that none of us expected to see on the most isolated road in Vietnam.
He stopped to dance.
Maybe we're gonna get invited to a wedding.
Imagine. Should we go back and see?
I mean, he's not coming.
Yeah, okay. Oh, where'd he go? Is he up? No way. He's in there for sure. You go, you go. Woo, woo, woo. What the heck? Hello! Zico, hi! What just happened? Literally, what just happened?
I came down here, you know, just jamming out, and they all started laughing, and then like a mob of them came down and grabbed me and pulled me on stage. So then that happened.
Yeah, we came back and his bike was just alone on the side of the road, and then we just see him on the stage right there.
The party gave us the boost we needed to crank out the last 3 hours of riding into Phong Nha before it got dark, and I honestly could not believe that our journey was coming to an end. The last 3 days on the Ho Chi Minh Road was unlike any adventure I had ever been on, full of countless moments of joy, bliss, and unexpected surprises, as well as some uncomfortable challenges and very humbling realizations. And of course, meeting Duncan and Adam, my two new adventure buddies who made this journey truly unforgettable. And as always, thank you so much to the Vietnamese people for welcoming me into your country with such warmth and generosity. Thanks to everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.